for example, Pogba's a better player than Modric. Do you know what I mean?
Is he?
Welcome to the Showing Great Potential podcast. My name is Sonny. I am here with
Gee.
Chi, and we are here today to discuss Manchester United. This is the pilot episode of the Showing Great Potential podcast. Usually, I imagine the episodes will be a little bit longer than this, but we're just trying to get the ball rolling here, and we're going to get kick-started. We're going to preface firsthand. I'm a Manchester United fan. Chi is a Chelsea fan, correct?
Yep, pretty simple.
Yeah, nice. So we need to get
We've
straight into it.
done.
Go
Can
on.
I mention something quickly?
Yeah, go for
We've
it.
done 2 podcasts before, so this is like a season revival, season 2 maybe,
It's a reboot. We try. Well,
because we
I'd
did
like
a
to
team of
treat
the
it.
decade
Yeah,
and a season's predictions.
I can't lie to you though. I'd almost treat this as a new entity because those series has epically failed, as you know.
Yeah.
But this one we're gonna get rolling. I've set up loads of stuff for it. So hopefully this one goes a lot better. So I want to get the ball rolling. I'm going to start with you. I want to say, how does it look from outside perspective as a rival fan? And after that, I'll get into what I think as a United fan.
I mean, as a rival fan, I'm loving it. You know,
I'm sure
seeing
you
them,
are.
yeah, seeing them go down. Well, not down, but you know what I mean. Seeing them struggle a bit, but it's nice. But you've got to think
Does it not get to a
that.
point where it's just sad
No, because
rather than
the same
funny?
thing happened to Barcelona, and I'm loving what's happening to Barcelona right now.
Really?
Yeah, I hate Barcelona.
I thought. Well, I suppose as a Chelsea fan, you would hate Barcelona, though, wouldn't you?
The only reason I liked them even a little ounce was because of Lionel
Messi. Yeah, and Neymar.
and Neymar. Yeah, two of my favorite players ever. There you go. As a
Yeah,
fact.
my favorite
Um,
front three ever.
yeah, and Luis Suarez. I love Luis
Yeah,
Suarez.
yeah. Anyway, we're getting a bit sidetracked there. So obviously it's nice to see it as a rival fan. As a United fan, it's not so nice. I got to say. Um, and like honestly, I've seen Van Gaal, I've seen Moyes, I've seen Mourinho, and right now it really does feel really bad. And which is weird for me because at the same time, at times under Ollie, it's felt the best that it has since Sir Alex Ferguson, right? No,
Mhm.
no one cannot really argue that. And
The PSG game.
I will just give it a bit of context. We're recording on 25th of October. 25 minutes ago, Fabrizio Romano tweeted saying, Man United first step has to be the final decision on Solskjaer by the board. Internal talks still ongoing over the crisis. A lot of people were speculating he might get the sack tonight or tomorrow morning. In the case of Jose, I think he lost on the Sunday and was sacked on Tuesday morning. So you never know. I honestly think if it was a 2-0 loss to Liverpool or something like that, then no action would be taken. But because it was so bad and there was so much uproar, they're almost being forced to take action, I feel.
Yeah. If it a 1-0 loss, a 2-0 loss, like that was probably expected going into it that you'd lose.
Well, I think it's fair enough to assume that, say for example, if United finish fourth, but they lost like that every time they played a top six club, you know what I mean, and then battered all like the smaller teams in the league, then realistically, without any outsider input, the board would be happy with that as long as it's top four, because they're still making their money, right?
Mhm.
But obviously, the uproar is such a huge fan base. But luckily for us, they're almost being forced to take action. Uh, the sad thing for me is I really wanted it to work out for Ollie, uh, just because when everyone was calling him a PE teacher back in the day, and then he finished above everyone's clubs except City, beating City. I think doing the double over City that season. Um, a McTominay goal at Old Trafford. Like, there's so many good memories in it, and it does just feel like he's reached his ceiling. But
Yeah,
I
and I
think you
mean,
need to go on.
like his previous two jobs were Molde and Cardiff, and it's
Yeah.
like considering what he's done at United, that's not like big step in his CV and whatnot.
Oh, absolutely. Because when you think about it, say if he didn't have a job right now, say if he got sacked or he had been sacked a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even be in contention for the Newcastle job. He wouldn't even be on the shortlist. Do you know what I mean? So why is he managing Manchester United? And for me, in my eyes, because you've had a similar thing at Chelsea a couple of years ago, I'm so sick of thinking former players is the answer as managers. Do you know what I mean? Thinking just because they've been there as a player, they're going to be a good manager. And I'm seeing stuff on Twitter like, "Oh, bring Keane in, bring Scholes in, or whatever." But no, don't. I'd much
Skulls
rather.
in, bro.
Nah, don't get Scholes in. I'd much rather see a Conte
You can
or a
suck some
Zidane.
boys.
Just a world-class manager. Do we want to
Yeah,
get into that?
went to the skulls.
I think we'll avoid that one this, and we'll talk about that next time.
Uh,
Oh my God! Did you see the Rio Ferdinand meme?
yeah. Have
Oh
you seen
God!
the edit?
Yeah. Look, let's avoid that. Let's avoid that. We'll talk about that some other
Yeah.
time.
Skulls.
Um,
He's a legend of the game, man. He can hit a tree from 50 yards away.
no, we're not talking about skulls right now.
Yeah, no, I'm just
I'm
giving him
just
some
saying.
praise. I disrespected him, so I got to give him some praise.
To be no, if you want to give him praise, tell him what he said about after the Atlanta game was very true. Have
Atlanta.
you seen that? Atalanta, sorry.
Yeah, and it
He
came
said,
true.
"Come and play that way against Liverpool," which is literally so true. How
Liverpool didn't even play
Atalanta
that good.
didn't. That's what I'm saying. How an Atalanta easily it could have been the same scoreline as it was against Liverpool. They could have cut us off before half time. I don't know what, mate. I have no idea what they do in training. I wish I could like
Get
it
Bielsa
doesn't
in
make
there.
sense. When
Do you remember
Harry
that when
Maguire and
Bielsa up?
no, I was gonna say sorry. When Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were just basically kissing, like and then Salah just gets in between them. I think it was Salah, whoever it was.
I
The
I think that's
positioning is
because
so awful.
we gotta stop
Nah, go
talking
on.
over each other. I think that's probably because Maguire's been back in training for like a week,
Yeah.
so Shaw's got to be like right next to him because he's not fully fit. So Shaw's kind of got to be there.
Yeah, but that's not to say Shaw hasn't had a stinker as well.
Yeah, Shaw. I mean, but he's kind of he's got to if he's it's the same thing probably happens if Shaw's not there, then Harry Maguire just gets skinned instead of them like running into each other and
No,
stuff.
but he's a good defender though. Well,
What, Maguire
usually,
or Shaw?
both of them. Usually,
Yeah, but
I see. Well,
Maguire,
they were.
he's injured.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
see your
playing
point.
fully fit.
I
I
see your point.
mean, Eric Bailly could play there, and that probably wouldn't have happened.
But then, say for example, I think it was the first goal where Maguire just turned around and then Shaw was basically in his face. They got in each other's way.
Yeah,
Personally, I'd say that's more Shaw's fault. But then
yeah, but
again, for
I
me,
would think
Maguire's starting position was a bit off as well.
if Maguire was fully fit, that probably wouldn't happen
Despite that, I
because
don't. I think you can only blame the players to a certain extent because
yeah,
I do almost think they're being set up to lose. Basically, do you know what I mean?
it's weird though because
It's almost
if
hopeless.
you remember England over
Yeah.
the over the summer, we conceded one. No, did we concede from open play or not? Because
So
Denmark scored a free
I
kick,
don't
and didn't
remember
Italy
any goal
score from a
kicks.
corner? I think they scored from a corner.
It does sort of ring a bell saying that, but
So and
yeah,
they were on that left hand side of that England defence. So they obviously can work. Like
yeah, of course they were. world class at points last season, even for United.
Yeah,
But
and Luke Shaw's normally really good against Liverpool. Normally does pretty well up against Salah.
well, it doesn't make sense to me how awful we were and have been the last couple of weeks against Leicester, against Atalanta, against Everton at home, who got smashed 5-2 by Watford, who got smashed 5-0 by Liverpool. Honestly, this has been coming because I've seen people defending Ollie on Twitter, saying he's got the same points as Liverpool, same points as Chelsea, whatever. When you look at the
Mm.
big picture, that was the first decent team we played, and we got absolutely battered at home. Playing Everton at home should be easy 3 points, especially this season when they're getting battered by Watford.
Yeah.
And we're being made at the start of the season to be title contenders, which we should be on paper, by the way, with the team we have. But the coaching is so awful. Like you say, we've went from countering to a sort of pressing team this season, but it's not smart pressing. It's
Yeah.
stupid, lazy pressing. Where obviously no, this was the first goal where Wan-Bissaka pressed out on the right, Lindelof has to cover, uh, and then that leaves a massive gap there in front of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where that all came from.
That's
Because
yeah.
it's not smart pressing. Because Wan-Bissaka's basically ran to Greenwood on the right wing,
And you look what Liverpool did. Liverpool's pressing. That worked.
but they didn't
Like
even
pretty
play well. They really didn't. They made so many, not so many, but they made mistakes, and there were chances for goals. There really were chances for us to score,
if
and
Bruno had scored first, what do you reckon you would have won?
no, it would have been 5-1 because there were so many unavoidable mistakes. Like the team's just a shambles right now. I can't get that across to you enough.
Mm.
Um, and
I
honestly,
saw a
Ollie would be gone by Ollie would be gone by now if he wasn't a former player because you're almost emotionally blackmailed in that sense where you remember them as a player, but recently I've come into my senses that you need to treat a player set or someone who manages and plays your team separately as a manager and a player. So you can still love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the player, the one who scored in the Champions League final, but as a manager, he's not cutting it, and you need to cut him off
yeah.
for that reason. Obviously, I'm
Um.
sure at the time you were really disappointed when Frank Lampard got sacked, right?
Um.
But look what Tuchel's coming and done.
Yeah, but I think that's different because Frank only had 1 year before, so he was Frank. Well, so Frank had 1 year before he joined Chelsea, and that was at Derby County.
Right.
And he's pretty experienced. He's had like a lot of
Not at this level.
um. Yeah, but it's more like he had a couple of years at Molde and a couple of two. How many years is it at Cardiff?
Oh,
A
not
couple
long.
of
I
years.
think they no, I think they got relegated and he got sacked, right?
Anyways, he's had more than Frank, so he should kind of have at least a system and a way he wants to
Well,
play.
that's what I mean.
I
There's
would
no
think,
there's no identity, is there?
yeah.
When you look at
But
the team,
Frank,
you can't see what they're trying to do.
but I was sad when Frank got sacked, but I wasn't like
Disappointed.
I knew why, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if we had kept him, we wouldn't have got top four, and we wouldn't have won the Champions League.
Well, who was the manager before Lampard,
Maurizio Sarri,
and where did he finish in the league in his last season?
uh, third.
And then Frank came fourth, right?
Yeah, with a transfer ban and with all the kids coming in.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I suppose it's a similar thing, and that's almost a transition period, right?
Yeah, the transfer ban probably helped us.
For you, it was more damage limitation at that point.
What do you mean?
Well,
What, bringing
like
in Frank?
no, no, no. When Frank came in and it's like he got top four, that's
Uh-huh.
really good damage limitation. Obviously, you weren't going to win the league that season, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Well, it's
Hazard had
different.
left.
Yeah, yeah,
We,
yeah. So
I think he
if
actually probably overachieved getting top four with the squad he had.
well, yeah, that's why it's such an underrated achievement. It's sort of different and similar at the same time with Ollie, where So Moyes finished 7th, I think,
I think
and
if he
then
kept Moyes, do you reckon? Do you think he sacked Moyes too early?
nah, I just
Because he
don't think
didn't
he
get
was
a
too.
did he get a full season?
I think he nearly did. And then, if I'm not wrong, Giggs took over for the rest of that season, or was the start of the next
Give
season.
it gigs, yeah, give it Giggsy to the end of the season.
Giggs to the end of the season, and then Van Gaal came in, right? And he wasn't bad. Like I remember he came fifth and he won the FA Cup, but
Who did
he
David
was
Moyes sign? What players did he bring in?
Fellaini,
Fellaini,
Mata, so not bad.
and then Van Gaal brought in Martial. He
Martial,
brought in
Memphis.
Rash. Like he brought in Rashford.
Well, yeah. To be fair, Van Gaal was really good with the youth players, but I think that might have been
Memphis.
also to do with us having a lot of injuries.
Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, Schweinsteiger as well. So he finished fifth and won the FA Cup, and he still got the sack like the day after he won the
Yeah,
FA Cup or something. Because,
and
like
then
I say, to them
wait,
it's just about
oh no, it's
money,
Jose.
right?
Yeah,
So yeah, after that, Jose came in.
and he
We
won
weren't a
Europa League.
Champions League club at this point. He brought us back to Champions League status, right? Uh,
Second, he got second.
yeah, second Community Shield, Europa League, more silverware. The last
Pog,
trophies we won actually, and
who did
then
he sign?
well, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan. Who else? There was someone else outside my Bailly. Uh, it was that sort of phase. I don't remember who he got the next season. But then the season after he finished second, he finished sixth, I think. If I'm not wrong, I
Didn't he
might be
say that
wrong there.
finishing second was like the best achievement he had in his career? Because he had like Chris
Yeah,
Smalling and Phil Jones, and
it was something like that.
was that like prime David De Gea that season?
He's just chatting waffle. That was more Van Gaal, Moyes. I feel like yeah, he was still like good then. It's not. It's before he like switched off a bit.
Was that the one? Was that the season where he made like 13 saves against Arsenal?
I think it was. I think that was under Mourinho actually. Um, and then yeah, so he sort of fell off a bit. I remember Ollie came in and I think it was like October, November time, like 3 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's turned us back into a comfortable top four team. The team is the most likable it's been in years. It's that sort of thing where he's transitioned it well, but now he's just hit his ceiling, and you can see he's just out of his depth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned
You got
before,
to
go on.
Europa League final, couple of semi-finals.
Yeah, quite a few semi-finals. Obviously, I think in his full seasons it was second and third in the league. Like that's good considering the competition. He had Liverpool, Chelsea, City all in the league, and he's finished second and third.
Yeah.
Two seasons. But obviously, this season it's very clear. If it keeps on going the way it's going, he's not. Well, United aren't going to
Yeah,
get top four.
but didn't you start last season off pretty crap?
Yeah, but it picked up by now because
Oh,
we were first by January. We were top of the league in January. Um, but for me, it's deeper than Solskjaer. If you're going to get rid of Solskjaer, you need to get rid of Carrick, Phelan, Fletcher. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
just like I say, the coaching is just awful. And I think in someone like Conte, if he came in, he would bring in a new
Yeah,
team.
he's got his own. He's got his own like team that brings with
His
him everywhere.
his cronies.
Yeah, it's
So
like Jose Mourinho's got his cronies.
yeah. But personally,
Should we
I
should we
just want
talk
to
about
say,
managers? Should we talk about
yeah, I
managers?
was literally going to say, should we go on to managers?
All right, I've got actually someone different.
Are
My
you going
team
to
is
say
even.
the? I think I know who you're going to say.
Yeah,
The
I've
Ajax
got two
manager, right?
actually. I've got two. Yeah, I've got the Ajax manager. Um, and I'll leave the other one. I'll let you talk about Conte first because obviously I support Chelsea and he was in charge of us
Well,
for a few seasons.
he literally turned your club season around this time in
Yeah,
2016, right?
he switched. We weren't playing the three at the back. He joined us after I think it was the Euros.
Yeah.
Uh, where he did pretty good with Italy, didn't he? I can't remember fully where they came in Euro 2016. I think they lost to
I mean,
Germany on penalties.
they knocked out Spain. I remember. and then lost to Germany
And
in the quarters.
they had like a really poor squad, didn't they? It wasn't the best squad.
It wasn't the best squad. It performed really well.
Yeah, I think he had like Eder up top and Graziano Pelle,
Yeah, yeah, that was it.
and Zaza. Remember that penalty that Zaza took?
Yeah, wow, that was a poor team, wasn't it? It really was.
Um, yeah, came in. We started off a bit naff because we didn't use the three at the back. You know, the
Mm,
pattern did three at the back. But as soon as we switched to that, I think we went on a 14 game winning streak,
yeah.
and I think we broke 30 wins in the league as well.
Did he win the FA Cup that season as well?
I think he won the league one season and the FA Cup the next season after he got sacked. But
Right,
things
okay.
had they'd kind of gone sour at that point.
I think the only negative,
Like
well, I think there are a
he'd,
few things you could look at negatively with Conte. For example, as you just sort of brought up, he is a short-term manager almost, like a
yeah,
season, 2 seasons. Obviously, with Inter, he left after a season, right?
yeah,
Chelsea, he was
because
there two
he fell out with the
seasons.
board, fell out with the board at us, fell out with the board
Well, and yeah, and then he
Inter.
fell out with the board before he even signed at Spurs. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, so I guess that's a bit of an issue. Another thing, a lot of people saying he doesn't play United's football per se, like the attacking sort of traditional Manchester United football. For me, at this point, it's like I just want to win. Do you know what I mean? I almost don't care how the wins come to an
Should I
extent.
tell you his record at Chelsea?
Go on.
742 days he was there,
Yeah,
so 2 years pretty much.
yeah,
106 matches, 70
yeah.
wins, 15 draws, 21 losses.
I imagine the second season, most of those losses came,
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot. Yeah, we kind of he fell out with Costa and
Yeah,
Willian, and we relied pretty heavily on Hazard. Well, we did for like
a
seven
couple
years.
seasons. Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess he's a really strong personality, isn't he? That's another thing with
Yeah,
him.
it's
And it's
kind
going to
of
be
like
another.
my way or the highway.
Yeah, but again, you look at it and you think he does get instant results, sort of thing, and you can't really argue with that. His
It's kind of do
his
you
track record
want?
when it comes to trophies is incredible,
Yeah, he's got one Premier League, one FA Cup, four Serie A's.
and it's not like I mean, don't get me wrong, Chelsea are a good team. It's not like they were the league favourites that year. Do you know what I mean? Or it's not like Inter were last year.
Yeah, true. And I
And I think
guess another thing
obviously,
is
go on.
he kind of gets the striker scoring goals
Yeah,
because Costa was top goal scorer, Lukaku was top goal. Was Lukaku top goal scorer or was Ronaldo top
no,
goal scorer?
Ronaldo was.
Well, Lukaku got like 30 odd goals or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, so his system, the striker is kind of is going to get goals.
yeah.
It's just whether you've got the players
Look,
that will
well,
work in that system.
I think you would, but I think some players would be sacrificed. For
Like I don't
example,
think Wan-Bissaka wouldn't work as a right wing back.
yeah, but now I'm thinking, would Sancho get converted to a right wing back? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because he can't really play.
Victor Moses,
He can't play one of the striker roles, can he? Yet Greenwood, Rashford can.
Greenwood,
That
Rashford. Yeah.
they can both play striker. But Sancho's a winger, right?
Well, it depends
Um,
how he plays it. If he plays it 3-5-2 with two strikers like he did at Inter, or if he plays a 3-4-3 like he did at Chelsea, two
um,
wingers, one striker, or two striker. Because at Inter he had Maurizio Lautaro Martinez
yeah,
and Lukaku, but with us he had Hazard, Costa, and like Willian or Pedro or something like that.
yeah. I mean,
So
well, as we've
you could
haven't
go.
gone.
Yeah. So I mean, you could go. I think the 3-4-3 would probably be better for United than the 3-5-2.
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah. Wow, Conte. Big shout. Who else is about?
He'd
Zidane.
probably offer. I think you. The thing is with Conte, I think he'd probably demand. quite a lot of changes, like a bit
Well,
like
and
transfers.
yeah, and he'd demand a lot from players that might seem quite lazy at the moment.
Ronaldo, I don't think he'd work well with Ronaldo.
I think the opposite,
Do you think he'd work
but
well with Ronaldo?
I think he would. I'm thinking more like Luke Shaw wants his pudding sort of thing, and he
Let
can have
Shaw
it.
eat.
Yeah. Um, right.
He was
Let's
doing
move
good when he
on.
was fat.
Let's move on. Zidane. For me, Zidane, and I don't mean this as a bad thing. I mean this as a good thing actually. Zidane is Ollie on crack in terms of he's a coach, not a manager.
Okay.
Um, and like a lot of it with him is man management, right?
Should I
Oh
give
wait,
you his record?
did I mean he's a manager, not a coach? I think that's what I meant. He's one of them. Um, yeah, get up his record. And I'll say,
Right, so his first stint at Real Madrid
wasn't
was
successful, right?
2016 to 2018.
Yeah.
149 games, 105 wins, 28 draws, 16 losses.
Say that
And
again,
then
sorry.
it's 149 games,
Yeah,
105 wins,
yeah,
28 sorry, draws,
yeah.
and 16 losses. So he only lost 16 games in 100, pretty much 150.
I think I read a stat the other day, like he got his eighth trophy before his seventh loss or
Or
something
his
like that.
seventh loss, yeah, yeah.
Something
But then
crazy. It's meant to.
his second spell was
Okay.
2019 to 2021.
Yeah.
114 matches, 69 wins, 25 draws, and 20 losses. So not as good. But
But
considering the squad Real Madrid have now, that's pretty good.
but as well, that second stint he didn't have Ronaldo, right?
No.
No, he's got
Actually,
Ronaldo now. He's got Ronaldo.
so
I
he's
think.
his CV, shall we say?
Yeah.
He's won world's best club coach twice, 3 Champions League, 2 Spanish championships, 2 Spanish Super Cup winners,
Yeah.
Club World Cup twice, Super Cup twice. So it's not too bad.
It's crazy to me because people say he's overrated and all this because obviously he doesn't have a distinct sort of play style, right? Like
Yeah.
a Conte. But and I know he had like a mega squad, but so did so does Guardiola. And he hasn't won one
Yeah.
Champions League, let alone three in a row. Do you know what I mean?
Guardiola's won Champions League.
No, but with City, I mean, sorry.
Oh, right.
For example, how long has he been there? 5 years now? He's not even won one. And
I don't
Zidane
know.
won, what,
5
three in
years?
his first seasons?
Yeah, because
Same
Pep
year as
was
Conte,
there
right?
when. Yeah, we smashed him
Yeah, they finished
3-1.
fourth in their first season, I remember. Um, so yeah, but do you see what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah,
really argue with three Champions Leagues on the trot,
but if you look at the
no
squad,
matter the team.
but you look at the squad though, Sergio Ramos, he's a leader, so you don't really like that team had so many leaders in it that he didn't really need to be that. He could kind of, I guess, he could focus on the tactics and let the players do the leading.
I
If that
see
makes
your
sense.
point. I see your point, right? But I think, I don't, obviously the team now is nowhere near as good as that team. But
Yeah.
I think it's more. I'm gonna be careful. I say this. I almost think it's more talented though.
What do you mean?
I don't.
Zidane's more talented.
No. I think. Well, for
Oh, the
example,
Real Madrid squad now is
ah,
more talented
you,
than the squad then.
no. United team. I mean,
Oh, United team is the
so I
United
think
team now is more talented than
no,
the
but
Real
I'm not.
Madrid squad.
No, because it's not. I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this because I know what I mean in my head. Um,
Do you mean the Man United squad now is better than the Real Madrid squad now?
no. I'm talking about the Real Madrid squad then, but I'm not saying they're better than the Real Madrid squad then. Obviously, I'm saying, for example, Pogba's a better player than Modric. Do you know what I mean? But it's all
Is
individuals.
he?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes, like well, he's a more he's a more talented footballer. I think you could argue that.
Um,
Modric, it's
first
really
clip
hard
of the
to
first clip of the podcast. Let's go.
no, it's really hard
Let's
to
go.
get across what I'm trying to say in my head, but it makes sense in my head, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying though.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think with that front three as well, where it was Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo. I know obviously Benzema's killing it at the moment, but that was more or less the Ronaldo show, right? That was just all Ronaldo at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
I've lost you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Let's move on from Zidane because I'm done with this.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh.
we move on. I can't think of his name, but you probably know the Ajax
So
manager.
yeah, Eric Ten Hag.
The difficulty with him is that he's obviously under contract at a team.
Yeah, that's what I've written some notes.
Go on.
So pretty much what I wrote was you can either sack Ole now and get a Conte who
Yeah,
will be like 2 years or whatever,
yeah.
or you can wait till the end of the season, either sack Ole at now and get an interim manager, or gives Ole to the end of the season, and then you can go for someone that you can kind of start a proper project with.
I don't
So I
think the
had
fans would. I don't think the fans would allow it to go to the end of the season.
I had Ten Hag or Graham Potter. I think would be two managers you could start a proper project with and kind of have
Yeah,
not just the 2 years, but you could probably go either 5 or 6, depending on how successful they are.
yeah. I mean, no disrespect to them, but I feel like that's the sort of route we went down with Moyes,
But one thing I was
getting a manager who was like just really good at like a mid-table club, for example. He's just kept smashing it with it. I do think it's a different thing to be a good manager
Ten
at
Hag.
a mega club, for example.
Ten Hag's at Ajax. He got to the semi-finals of the
I
Champions
guess
League.
when I said that, I was referring more to Potter than him.
Oh right,
But obviously, with him,
yeah, because
he's
Potter's working with. He's not working with superstars.
yeah, exactly.
I think
Who is it? Do you see
Ten
what
Hag
Tuchel
probably did
said
work with superstars.
when Tuchel came out and said he was when he was at
He'd rather
PSG,
work.
he was managing like everyone's friends as well,
Yeah, and
sort of thing.
he'd rather work with Lukaku than Neymar and
Yeah,
than someone like
yeah.
Neymar.
I guess that shows that previous point we've just made.
Yeah.
But what's this Ajax manager's name again? Sorry.
Ten Hag.
So
I think
Ten
that's how
Hag.
you say it. Ten 10
One thing I
HA
think one thing I think he's got on all the other managers
system.
is well, yeah, he plays Man United's attacking football, right?
Three
Plays
four 4-3-3.
that traditional Man United attacking football, and that's what a lot of people want. Like I say, I think the thing is, of all in its positives and negatives, like, well, no one's going to be the perfect option, and whoever you bring in is going to be a risk. That's the way I see it right now.
I think he would probably be the biggest risk.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? I
Um,
think it's a really good job to get because I think no matter who comes in, as long as said they bring in a team with them,
you
it
can't be
can't
worse
be
than Ollie.
worse. It can't be worse than right now. So no matter what, you'll look good. So I think a lot of managers actually want this job, and it's a really good job to try and get right now.
Yeah.
But
The Ajax manager, I'll
yeah,
just say, his contract runs out in 2023. So at the end of this season, he'd only have 1 year left.
right. You can stick transfer offers in for managers, though, can't you?
Yeah, can pay out the rest
Brendan
of their
Brendan,
contracts.
Brendan Rodgers has a 16 mil release clause.
That's what Bayern did, didn't they?
To who?
Leipzig.
Oh, did they?
He would have been a good manager for you to get.
They even do it to the managers, do
Julian Nagelsmann.
they?
I
Oh,
just
joking.
gonna say that he gets the best out of young players, like he proved that with the Ajax squad,
Yeah,
like De Ligt, De Jong, Van der Beek
yeah.
could be back. And I thought This season in the Eredivisie, his Ajax have scored 37, conceded twice. So they're good
Yeah.
attacking, good defensive. They beat
Well,
PSV 5-0 the other day, I think.
yeah, I do think he would be obviously the biggest risk, but I think if it worked out, it'd almost be the biggest reap the rewards.
And I don't know if you want to talk about this or if you do want to wrap it up. I wrote down some like what players you'd need to sign. Like I think you obviously you need a CDM. I know everyone knows that.
Yeah.
If you want to change systems, I think you probably need a new right back as well.
I don't think so. I don't get this Wan-Bissaka slander. I'm not with it.
Come on, come
Obviously,
on.
if you're going 3 or 5 with the back, sure your right backs need to get forward or whatever. But I think just because he doesn't look as natural on the ball per se,
How
he
many
still
assists
puts
has
in
he?
good crosses and go forward. Like, yeah, but Luke Shaw's not got that many assists either. And you know he's really good at that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, but look at Trent. Look at Reece James. Look at who's
Maybe it's the new right backs coming
Cancelo.
through. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but
I think defensive right back like Trent can he can defend enough, and that's all you need to do nowadays.
well, even he was getting exposed at the weekend when United got forward. There was plenty
That's
of
what I'm saying.
chances to expose Trent.
Enough, enough. You don't need like um. I think for right backs and left backs nowadays, attacking is more important than defending. If you're playing for a big team,
It really does depend on the system, though. It really does.
we've got Chilwell and
Absolutely.
Reece James. They both scored at the weekend. You know,
Yeah.
Cancelo, Walker.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
Walker's
you're
not
cutting
amazing
out.
attacking. Like Walker's not on the attacking level, say a Trent or a Cancelo, for example. He's just fast, so you can
Uh,
come back. He's got really good recovery pace. I don't know.
what's his?
I feel like we should wrap up there. To be fair, I feel like we're rambling at this point. Um, but
Do you
yeah,
want
that
another
was the
clip? Do
pilot.
you want another clip?
Oh, what?
Do you want another clip?
What do you mean?
Another clip, just from the podcast. We've already got the one clip of you saying Pogba's better than Modric.
Or what are you gonna say?
I think Ronaldo's made your team worse.
Nah, all right, we're not ending it here because I'm going in on this. All right, why?
Uh, he's
Because he
on
won't play to his
400k a
strengths.
week. He's on 400k a week.
Yeah, that's irrelevant because it's Ronaldo. That's the name. That's the commercial side of it. That's
You didn't
irrelevant.
need to sign him.
Again, at that point, it was commercial. You could say obviously not first priority, but I'm sure a striker was somewhere in the
You
first
could have
few on the
spent
pecking
how much
order.
did you spend on him? 30 mil?
15 mil.
15?
Yeah,
That's probably
I think it's
15 mil you could
15.
sign. Could have signed a CDM.
You can sign no one
You'd
for
be in a bit
15 mil. Don't be silly.
you'd be in a better place right now.
If we didn't have Ronaldo,
Yeah.
I honestly I disagree with this. I'm seeing this
if you
around
didn't
everywhere.
sign Ronaldo, if you didn't sign Ronaldo and if you wanted to press, play Cavani. If you didn't want to press, just put Greenwood up strike because Greenwood needs to go up strike sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but I'd play Ronaldo on the left. It's not my fault, or it's not his fault. He's up front.
I wouldn't,
Sorry,
but he's not.
Ollie's starting him up top. I'd start him off
I
the left.
wouldn't play
That's
him
where
on
he'd
the left
start off. Why wouldn't you put him on the left?
because Rashford's there.
The thing is with Rashford, he bags, but he never performs.
But would you rather? How old is Ronaldo? 37?
36, I think.
36? How was Rashford? 24? 25?
23.
23.
Yeah.
So you've got 23-year-old Rashford, 20-year-old Greenwood, and then Sancho 21, 22.
Yeah.
I would rather have them as my front three, kind of, even if they weren't playing well, just trying to get that chemistry with each other. Because you've got a 23, a 20, and a 21-year-old. That's your attack sorted for like 10 years if they can get that chemistry with each other.
Yeah, but you can't live off just
But
three players and that's it. You can't live
no, but
off the
that's what I'm
front three
saying.
and they don't.
If they're your three starters, they could be your three starters for the next 10 years, right?
Don't get me wrong. I agree that Ollie switches it around way too much.
But you chuck
Alex Ferguson
Ronaldo in
said,
there.
Alex Ferguson said, your best player is the first on the team sheet. It should be that way, right? And
Is Ronaldo your
that's coming
best
from a
player?
great. Ronaldo's arguably the greatest player of all time.
Is he your best player?
What do you mean? In what sense?
Is he your best player right now? Is Ronaldo your best player?
But in what sense?
Is he your best player?
I know, but I need it in what sense?
What do you
Because you
mean?
can look at it so many different ways. Well, in the way we play, where we're trying to press at the moment, no, absolutely not.
No.
If we come and played
Okay,
at a
so
central, if we brought in a Zidane or a Conte, I think he would be. I really think he would.
not Bruno.
Pogba's better than Bruno on his best day, of course. Not average,
Sure.
but on his best day.
But has Pogba had a best day for Man United?
Of course he has.
Since has he had more good days for France than he has Man United since joining?
I mean, maybe, but like I say, it's just never. It's never. We've never had a. I've never felt amazingly secure with a manager.
Do
Obviously, since
you offer Pogba a new contract?
I would.
How much is he on?
I have no idea. But it'll be high because he's another name where it's just commercial in it.
I will have a look on transfer market. What do you reckon? Go on, put a guess in.
300k.
How do I see his Let me see his contract. His market value is 54 mil. That's not too bad.
What is it?
Maybe 54 mil. Maybe you should have sold him in the summer because I don't think he will sign. Even if you go like on an incredible run, I don't think he does sign. Like you could offer him.
I think he needs to see the vision.
I
Do you
think
know
you
what I
could
mean?
offer him
It's not that right
like
now.
you could offer him the Ronaldo money, but I don't think he would uh would sign it.
Well, I think it depends where we are at that point. I think if, say, for example, Zidane's the manager in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
And United have just gone on like a 10-game winning streak or whatever, and you can see the clear vision and you can see where we're going, then I think he would sign on.
Yeah, but what if PSG or Real Madrid come knocking?
Well,
It's hard to say
if it was
no.
clear he wasn't going to sign a contract, sure you'd take some money from in January, right?
Yeah, try and get a little bit.
Yeah, because it's better than nothing.
This
But
website is saying he is on a 5-year, 75 million contract. So 15 mil a year, which is
which is,
290k a week.
oh, I thought it would have been more to be fair.
I think the main thing you got to do, if you bring the wages down, you could probably spend more.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Because if I was Man United, I'd probably let him go. I'd maybe even try and get some money for him in January. And let's say you got 100 mil to spend next summer.
All right.
I'd go new CD. If this is me, new CDM and a new right back and attacking like a proper attacking right back.
Yeah, I don't think that's the worst shot in the world. I mean, we've almost got that with Delo.
Yeah, but I think there's
I mean, he was
maybe
really
you
good in the Serie A
sell
last season,
him and
right?
get. Yeah, but didn't he play left back?
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Right foot
Yeah,
left
maybe,
back. But yeah, I
maybe, maybe,
reckon
maybe.
you go for Declan Rice, That'll probably be a big chunk of your budget though. 80,
Yeah,
90 mil probably for Declan Rice and Didi.
I was
Probably about
thinking
the
Ndidi.
same,
No, Ndidi
maybe
would
a
be
little
less
bit
than Rice.
less,
English tax in it.
maybe like 60 mil.
I reckon about 60 for Ndidi sounds right.
Or you could go
Um,
get Tchouaméni. You heard of
I
him?
think I have no idea who that is.
Plays for Monaco. He played with Pogba in the Nations League. They were the two
Oh,
in
is
the midfield
Kante
because
injured?
Kante was injured.
Um, no, so I sort of went off track there. Either way, I think what we're having these conversations. What would you do if you were the manager? I think it's so variant what happens even in the next like 48 hours, for example, or how the
Yeah,
next couple of weeks go and the track that the club's on. If we're going to have to settle for sixth place or something like that, or if we're going to try and go back in and fight for the top four, and you never know. Obviously, extremely unlikely with the teams in the league fight for the title still, because at the end of the day, how many like 8 points off, something like that.
yeah. You're not in
That's
the
not
Carabao anymore.
if we play how that team should be playing. That's not impossible to recover, right? So it really comes down to how the team plays over the next couple of weeks and months, and who is in charge, of course. But I think that is actually where we end it for real this time. You happy with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
All right, I've enjoyed that very much. We've somehow I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes. We've stretched this conversation 47 minutes.
that's
So yeah,
pretty much a full episode.
that's the pilot. We hope you enjoyed. Uh,
Might
hopefully
be
we'll
a-
see
might
you
be
again for
a
the next one.
might be another host next time.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But we'll see you then, and we'll have a new topic to discuss. So you guys have a good one. We'll catch you later.